First scene, in the office. Johnny and Mr. Masters are in Mr. Truth. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor Man. I'm having trouble with my neighbors. My neighbor don't want to sell me his land, so I've got to find some way to make his life miserable. Well, Mr. Masters, the laws for fences are very specific. You could build a fence, and even if your neighbors don't want it, you could still charge them for half of the cost of putting that fence up. Well, that's genius. That's perfect. I'm sure glad I got your pecker in my pocket. Now, wait a second. Won't that just piss off the neighbors? Shouldn't you approach your neighbor first and try to work out a win-win compromise? I think it would be better if I just did whatever the hell I wanted to first. And if my neighbor doesn't like it, I could just take him to court. And I'd get my prosecutor buddy Johnny here to threaten him with legal action. Well, that's a different way of doing things. Now, moving on to Kevin Spike Deaton. I've got real problems with that guy. I've got to figure out a way to frame him. I was thinking about getting a tape recorder and egging him on and hope that he does or says something stupid. Ooh, and even if you don't get him saying something stupid, you could always just shout out a bunch of things that aren't happening. That way, people will think that he's attacking you. Oh, that's perfect. I'm so glad I can use our friendship to my advantage. Plus, the local sheriff doesn't realize he's the most powerful man in the county. He actually leans on me pretty heavily for legal advice. And if I just tell him how dangerous Kevin Spike Deaton really is, that'll coat their perceptions about the guy before they even get a chance to meet him, before they even form their opinions about the guy. Well, this meeting was a good one. Hot damn. Once and for all, we're finally going to get this bastard. Wait a second. Isn't Spike your son? Mr. Truth, you need to shut the hell up. I'm just saying, your son knows you better than anyone else out there. And if you've been smacking him around his whole life, won't he tell people that you're the one that's been violent? That you're the one that's been violent? Mr. Truth, as long as you do as we say, we'll get away with any crime we commit. Second scene. Barbie meets up with Kevin Spike Deaton. Hey, Kevin Deaton, how you doing? You know, I'm going by Spike these days. I really don't like to be called Kevin Deaton. I want to be called Spike. Yeah, well, I know that's what you want to be called, but I really don't give a crap what you want. I never liked you before, and I don't like you now. I've always called you Kevin Deaton, and that's all you're ever going to be to me. I hate your new name. What is it, Spike? You want to be called Spike? I hate Spike. I hate the way Spike sounds. I will never, ever call you Spike. You understand? And you can't make me. Third scene. Mr. Masters calls 911. Oh my God, I'm so scared. Kevin Spike Deaton is hitting me, and everybody in the house. I'm standing outside scared. He's got my 11-year-old locked up in the house. I need help. Please. 911, come quick. Now, wait a second. You don't have an 11-year-old. Your daughter Kelly's 10. Is that what you meant? Yeah, well, whatever. This is what happened. I walked into my house after working all day long, and there Kevin Spike Deaton was, just sitting in a chair, waiting for me. The expression on his face was mean. He was pissed off, and I didn't even do anything. And then Kevin Spike Deaton jumped me. He punched me 15 times, and he ripped my shirt. I didn't rip my shirt to make it look worse. I swear. I'm not lying. To get this crazy madman off me, I had to swing a golf club. I had to pick up a golf club and swing it at him 3 times. That's the only way I could figure that he'd stop beating me up. I'm so scared. He's so much bigger than me. Before Kevin Spike Deaton jumped me, I walked out to my truck and I got my tape recorder and I pushed him first. Yeah, so what do you want us to do about it? I want him to go to jail. I want to file a restraining order on him, and other charges you could think of would be helpful. Hopefully he'll get ass raped and stabbed and thrown in a homeless shelter. I hope his whole life is ruined. I don't give a damn whatever happens to him. Fourth scene. Spike burns a piece of paper. Wow, I can't believe that my own father would do this to me. Attack me with a golf club, assault me with a deadly weapon, attempted murder, sending me to jail, pressing charges, and a restraining order. Now I've got no place to go. I'm homeless. I'm not allowed to see my little brother, my little sister, or my older sister, or my mother without being against the law. My entire world has been completely turned upside down. Does anybody care? No one's ever listened to me before, but will they listen now? Well, maybe I'll post some things online, and hopefully somebody will listen to what really happened. No one's ever really listened, so I'm going to have to be extra dramatic to get my point across. Look, I'm not going to take this shit no more. Comprende, motherfuckers? Fifth scene. The conspiring crew discusses Spike burning that piece of paper. Hey, Johnny, did you hear what Kevin Spike Deaton is up to now? He burned a picture of my face in effigy. In effigy. Like protest is even allowed in America. But anyways, he burned my picture and he said that he's not going to take this shit no more. Comprende, motherfucker? Now wait. So what you're saying is after we tried to murder him with a golf club, we falsely arrested him, falsely imprisoned him, made him homeless, slapped a restraining order on him. After all that, he got mad? That's ridiculous.